Hello everyone. Today's story is the case of the missing Punter, written by Golpo Dadu. It is set in present-day Mumbai. Nikita Joshi, Nikki to her friends, was busy in her office preparing the bail hearing in the afternoon. The sign outside the door read, Joshi, Rana and Associates, Mumbai High Court. They dealt with cases in criminal law. The woman who rang the bell in the morning was around 50 years of age, give or take. Indu Rana, who was in the midst of a call with their associate, Kalpesh, a freelance detective, cradled her phone on a raised shoulder and answered the door. The woman walked in quickly, shut the door behind her, and looked around in a frightened manner of a person in need of help. Nikki walked around her desk and led the woman to a sofa in the corner of the office. The woman sank into the sofa and gratefully accepted a glass of water. Miss Joshi, she asked, and getting a nod in reply, continued, I need your help. My husband, you see, is missing and I just don't know what to do. Nikki smiled, brightly reassuring. Of course, ma'am. Please tell me all you can, starting with your own details. My name is Shweta Nadkarni, and we, that is I, live in Thakur village in Kandy. Kandy is a tony suburb of Mumbai. My husband, Milind Nadkarni, and I are separated. So I live alone now. Today, in the morning at about 7 o'clock, Milind's maid Kanta called. Milind, she said, was not at home. She had entered with her own set of front door keys to Milind's flat and did not find them there. She was not alarmed at first. He often went for a run in the municipal garden nearby. But his bed was not slept in. The day's newspapers were still uncollected from the front door mat. The dinner she had cooked the evening before was still in the fridge, and the rotis were in the casserole, uneaten. She tried his number. The answer back message said it was switched off. What makes you think there is something wrong, Miss Nadkarni? He may have gone out to visit someone late yesterday evening and decided to sleep over, asked Nikki gently. You see, Milind is a very meticulous man. He would have called Kanta and told her if he didn't plan to be in. Do you think I should report it to the police? I'm so afraid that he may have been kidnapped. Miss Nadkarni did not look very affluent. Well-to-do definitely, but not one of the nouveau riche. What does Mr. Nadkarni do for a living? Asked Nikki. He is a player in the stock market, a day trader. He likes to call himself an investor, replied Ms. Nadkarni wearily. He is busy the whole day barking on the phone and usually ends his day all tensed up. That is one of the reasons I decided to separate. One of the reasons? What about the others? Asked Nikki gently. I got tired of his creditors calling all the time, day and night, often in a threatening manner. Ms. Nadkarni took a sip of water and continued. Last evening, I had visited his flat to collect some of my stuff. We had an argument. He shouted, and so did I. I left at about 8, and he stood at the door shouting at me. All the neighbors would have heard it. What about his relatives, his family? Milind has only a brother, Dhruv, a bachelor, who lives in Bhusaval and is something of a recluse. The two brothers don't get along well either. Ms. Nadkarni, I would like to see your family photographs and any other belongings of Milind that you may have. Can Indu and Kalpesh, my partner and associate, call on you in the evening today? Ms. Nadkarni nodded assent. And I suggest you wait 24 hours before you file a missing person report with the police. That evening, Nikki and Indu had a good look at the Nadkarni family album, boxes of loose photos, and clothes and sundry accessories such as belt, a couple of empty purses of her husband. Kalpesh slipped out for a chat with the neighbors. The missing person report was filed by Ms. Nadkarni the next day. The police called, made a rather perfunctory questioning of Ms. Nadkarni, the maid and a few neighbors, and made a visit to Milind's flat. Nothing much came of it. There was no ransom call or any contact from Milind at all over the next day. On the second day, Nikki and her team got into what they call an operation huddle to chalk out the details of their plan of action. The fallout of the powwow was that Indu Rana and Kalpesh Thakur left for Bhusawal that night by train. They planned to meet Dhruv, Milind's brother, and find out if he had anything to add to his brother's disappearance. Lieutenant Colonel retired Dhruv Nadkarni lived in a fairly large cottage in Bhusawal's Shanti Nagar area, overlooking the Tapi river. An old servant answered the door and ushered them into the living room. Dhruv entered after about 5 minutes, a very pleasant smile on his face. Indu had a way of putting people at ease, and Kalpesh looked as friendly as a teddy bear. After the introductions, they came to the point. No, he did not know anything about Milind's whereabouts. The last call he had from his brother was about a month ago. Dhruv, they were told, kept mostly to himself, other than driving to the cantonment club for bridge and drinks with the old boys on Saturdays. Indu and Kalpesh left after about half an hour. They stopped at a pan shop in the corner. The panwala didn't know much, but only that Colonel Saab had suddenly taken to going for a run early in the morning these last couple of days. It was quite dark by the time they took a rickshaw and made a wide detour of the area and came back to a municipal park located on a hillock just behind Colonel Nadkarni's bungalow. The park had shut for the night and they had to climb over the fence to get in. All was quiet in the house. There was a light on in the living room and in the kitchen, and also in the outhouse, which obviously served as the servants' quarter. Kalpesh lowered his backpack, unzipped it, and took out his equipment. He assembled the contraption, and Indu paired it with her laptop. The drone, a small battery-powered quadcopter, only about 6 inches across, took off smoothly, and Indu took over its controls, flying it by the camera mounted in the front. The drone flew straight to the cottage, and Indu deftly piloted it indoors through an open kitchen window. It hovered near the ceiling inside the kitchen, its sound a mere whisper, and that too drowned by the whir of the kitchen's exhaust fan. The door to the living room was open. Indu zoomed in. 2 men sat across an ornate chess table, engrossed in their game. 2 men, exactly alike in appearance, for Dhruv and Milind were identical twins, as Indu had found out from the family album. I hope you liked the story. Please share it with your friends, and don't forget to send me your comments and suggestions for improvement. Thank you for spending your time with me. Goodbye.